Imagine a warning that sounds like death itself. A dry, buzzing rattle slicing through the air at lightning speed. That sound isn't just noise, it's a countdown. A biological alarm designed to stop hearts before anything even strikes. Now imagine that rattle echoing across the path of something far worse. A living dinosaur. Venom in its mouth. Raw, reckless power in its limbs. This isn't a fair fight. It isn't even a logical one. But nature has never cared about fairness. It only cares about effectiveness. Today, we're throwing size against speed. Brute force against surgical precision. Patience against sheer dominance. On one side stands a rattlesnake, engineered for a single perfect strike. No wasted motion, no second chances. On the other waits a Komodo dragon, built to survive chaos, injury, and violence itself. A creature that doesn't flinch. A creature that keeps coming. If these two evolutionary weapons ever crossed paths, the outcome wouldn't be decided by fear. It wouldn't be decided by intimidation. It would be decided in seconds. Rattlesnakes are precision-built ambush predators. They don't dominate through aggression. They dominate through efficiency. Every part of their design is about control. No chasing, no wasted energy. That iconic rattle isn't a hollow warning bell. It's a stack of interlocking keratin segments engineered to vibrate up to 90 times per second. The sound creates an illusion of size and danger. A sonic bluff meant to scare off large animals without wasting venom. But while the rattle distracts, the real weapon is already locked in. Rattlesnakes don't just see the world, they feel it. Specialized infrared pit organs allow them to detect heat. Not vaguely, but with terrifying precision. They can sense temperature differences smaller than a fraction of a degree. That means warm-blooded prey lights up like a target, even in total darkness, even when visual cues disappear completely. To a rattlesnake, night isn't a disadvantage. It's home field advantage. Venom is where rattlesnakes become truly strategic. This isn't rage, it's resource management. Rattlesnakes can precisely control how much venom they inject. Every strike is a calculation. Sometimes they don't inject venom at all. These dry bites conserve a weapon that's metabolically expensive to replace. When venom is used, it's anything but simple. It's a complex chemical cocktail engineered for speed and efficiency. The venom immobilizes prey almost instantly. It breaks down tissue, and it jumpstarts digestion before the prey even stops moving. The chemistry is so advanced that scientists study individual venom components for medical breakthroughs, including cancer treatments and blood clot prevention. But not all rattlesnakes fight the same way. Age changes the danger. Juvenile rattlesnakes are born fully venomous, but they lack venom control. That makes young snakes unpredictable. Smaller bodies, sometimes deadlier decisions. Despite their fearsome reputation, rattlesnakes aren't villains. They're ecological stabilizers. Their presence keeps rodent populations in check. Fewer rodents means less crop damage and fewer disease outbreaks spreading through ecosystems. In this way, rattlesnakes quietly protect landscapes we depend on. They do their work without fanfare or mercy. When temperatures drop, survival becomes communal. Many rattlesnake species retreat into shared underground dens. These aren't temporary shelters. Some dens house hundreds of snakes brumating together. Even more remarkable, these chambers can be used for generations, passed down like ancient survival bunkers beneath the earth. And despite everything they're capable of, rattlesnakes don't seek conflict. Most bites don't happen because of aggression. They happen because a snake is stepped on, or cornered, or given no escape. It's a reminder of what this animal truly is. A weapon built for survival, not confrontation. Komodo dragons are living relics of prehistoric dominance. Not fast assassins, but unstoppable enforcers. They combine brute strength with biochemical warfare, muscle and menace, backed by chemistry. For years, scientists believed their killing power came from filthy, bacteria-laden saliva, a slow, septic sentence. But the truth turned out to be far more terrifying. Komodos don't just bite, they envenomate. Hidden venom glands deliver a toxic cocktail that triggers rapid blood loss, shock, and powerful anticoagulants that prevent wounds from ever closing. The bite doesn't need to kill instantly. It only needs to start the clock. Komodo dragons are patient hunters. They follow wounded prey for hours, sometimes for days, waiting as blood drains, strength fades, and collapse becomes inevitable. Their forked tongues constantly sample the air. Every flick pulls in scent particles like invisible fingerprints. That chemical tracking system allows them to detect carrion or injured animals from miles away. Once a Komodo locks on, escape isn't about speed anymore. It's about time. Physically, Komodo dragons shatter reptilian stereotypes. These aren't sluggish, sun-baked lizards. They can sprint at surprising speeds, explode into ambushes, and overpower prey with shocking force. When they feed, restraint disappears. A single Komodo can consume up to 80% of its body weight in one sitting. That's not a meal. That's a biological reset. Their teeth are just as brutal as their appetite. Each blade-like tooth is reinforced with iron. That iron strengthens the edges, reducing breakage as they tear through bone, muscle, and hide like living shears. But survival for Komodos doesn't start at the top of the food chain. It starts in fear. Juveniles live an entirely different life. For years, they stay in trees, not to hunt, to hide. Adult Komodo dragons are cannibals, and smaller bodies are fair game. For the young, survival isn't about strength yet. It's about avoidance. Even within their own species, nothing is given. Survival is earned. What truly sets Komodo dragons apart isn't just power, it's resilience. Female Komodos can reproduce without males through parthenogenesis. One animal alone can keep a bloodline alive. That ability allows isolated populations to persist, and in rare cases to colonize entirely new territory from a single survivor. Inside their bodies, the advantages keep stacking. Their immune systems are shockingly strong. So strong that compounds in Komodo blood are now being studied for antibiotic development. Nature's own pharmaceutical lab. They're also far more versatile than they look. Komodos are excellent swimmers, and they're master thermoregulators, and they precisely control body temperature to maximize digestion and conserve energy. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is accidental. At full size, the equation becomes brutally simple. Komodo dragons have no natural predators. They don't compete for dominance. They define it. On their island ecosystems, they stand alone, undisputed, unchallenged, apex. If this hypothetical encounter unfolds on the rattlesnake's terms, size stops being the deciding factor. Environment takes over. Tight quarters, dense cover, a sudden close-range surprise. In these conditions, the balance becomes far more dangerous than mass alone would suggest. Because this is where rattlesnakes excel. Their greatest advantages are speed, venom efficiency, and precision. Nothing is wasted. A rattlesnake strike is lightning fast. So fast it unfolds in a fraction of a second. In that instant, it delivers a highly specialized venom cocktail. One designed to attack blood pressure, destroy tissue integrity, and disrupt nervous function. Against an opponent that relies on blood flow and endurance, that chemistry matters a lot. Even a single successful bite to a vulnerable area doesn't need to kill immediately. It only needs to start the process. Time becomes the weapon. Weakness compounds, damage spreads. What makes this opening possible is invisibility. Rattlesnakes can remain perfectly motionless. They blend seamlessly into their surroundings. Rock, sand, shadow. When they strike, there's no warning, no chase, no escalation. If the Komodo dragon approaches unaware or careless, that moment of surprise is real. And in that moment, precision can briefly outweigh power. But if the encounter shifts to the Komodo dragon's world, everything changes. Space opens up, light exposes movement, awareness replaces surprise. In open terrain and daylight, the scales tip fast. and brutally. This is where Komodos dominate. Komodo dragons are built to absorb damage and keep moving. Thick skin acts like armor. Their limbs are packed with power, and their pain tolerance is forged through constant intraspecies conflict. They fight each other, often violently. Even if a rattlesnake manages to land a bite, the Komodo doesn't freeze. It presses forward. Sheer mass matters here. So does a robust immune response. And while Venom needs time, the Komodo deals damage instantly. One well-placed bite, one clawed swipe, one full body slam, any of them could end the encounter before Venom has time to matter. Before chemistry can do its work. If the confrontation drags on, the gap only widens. The Komodo's stamina and strength begin to dominate. Predatory aggression replaces calculation, and the rattlesnake's glass cannon strategy collapses under overwhelming force. In the end, this hypothetical battle isn't about who's more deadly in absolute terms. It's about conditions and timing. The rattlesnake represents surgical lethality. One perfect moment, one perfect strike. No margin for error, but no wasted motion either. The Komodo dragon embodies brute evolutionary dominance, endurance, damage tolerance, overwhelming force that doesn't ask for permission. Put them together, and the outcome stops being about biology alone. It becomes about circumstance. Who sees first? Who strikes first? Who forces the fight onto their terms? Because evolution never designed these animals to face each other. It designed them to dominate their own worlds. And in those worlds, both reign supreme. Not as monsters, not as villains, but as terrifyingly efficient solutions to survival itself. In the end, this showdown reveals something far more interesting than a simple winner or loser. It reveals philosophy. The rattlesnake is a master of restraint, a predator designed to end fights before they truly begin. One strike, maximum impact, energy conserved with lethal efficiency. The Komodo dragon is the opposite, a walking force of nature, built to absorb damage, dominate space, and finish what it starts through sheer power and persistence. Put these two together, and the outcome isn't written in advance. It hinges on timing, on environment, on that first critical moment where advantage becomes destiny. What this clash truly proves is something deeper than who survives. Evolution doesn't create champions, it creates specialists. And when specialists collide, the real victor isn't one animal over the other. It's the brutal, elegant logic of survival itself.